Indian soils are very important, not just for the agriculture. Now they are also important for the food security and the climate change. Hello everyone, welcome to Law Excellence. This is Prathyusha. In this session, we're going to discuss about an important report that is being released by the Center for Science and Environment. Now when you see this report is being released by the Center for Science and Environment and in the event of National Conclave on sustainable food systems. And here it has been released in Rajasthan in the October month. And here the report is being titled with Sustainable Food Systems and Agenda for Climate Risk Themes. Now basically, the Center for Science and Environment has taken care about the soil health card scheme. Now regarding the data that has been present in the soil health card scheme has been assessed and the final output for the report has been generated. Now according to the report, let's see what is the highlights that has been telling about the health of the soil, about the nutrient of the soil, what actually has been lacking in our Indian soils. Now when we see the first one here, the nutrient deficiencies in our Indian soils are still being present. For example, we can say that out of the sampled soils health card data that has been assessed, around 64% is having around 64% of the soils are still low on nitrogen, and out of the samples 48.5% of the soils are low on the soil organic compound. Now this is very important for the health of the soil, for the carbon sequestration and the climate change goals. Now here, along with that, the soils are also having a heavy deficiency is being present regarding the phosphorus and the potassium, and also showing a difference in the regional deficiencies. And it also told that this large amount of overuse, imbalances of the fertilizers is being present. For example, there is a heavy dependence on urea, that is the nitrogen based fertilizer. Then we have, despite high fertilizer use, nutrient level is still remaining low. Maybe there is some sort of imbalances is being present regarding the timing of the fertilizers, the absorption of the fertilizers, and the residue of the fertilizers that has been left over in the soil. Now these all are impacting the fertilizer and it's been overburdening the soils with it. Now when you see, it also indicates that this large amount of usage deficiency is being present, imbalances and the losses of nutrients. It also highlighted there is a limited soil testing parameters. Now we all know that the soil health card scheme only has 12 parameters, and these 12 parameters are taking care only about the chemicals. There is no parameter that will check about the physical influence on the soil and also the biological influence on the soil. Now this parameter deficiency is also affecting the testing and the potential of the soil and the amendments that can be made. And here it has been ignoring the physical and the biological component, and the true health of the soil is need to be assessed. And here there is a decline of organic compound. The report also stated that if the soils are being amended properly, there is a chance of 6 to 7 million tons of carbon sequestration can be happening through the soils. And at the end, it has been stated that the whole Indian soils are still having poor soil structure, there's a reduced water retention capacities in the soil is present, and lower microbial activity, and there's a decrease in the fertility and the productivity of the soil. Now when we see these all, this report also has been stated that here certain amount of suggestions also are being given. But before going to the suggestions, let's discuss about the soil health card scheme. Now this soil health card scheme was being started in 2015 under the provision that the farmers are given the whole report. It is similar like a report card where the soils report card of 12 parameters in the chemicals, macro, micro and other. For example, here we have macronutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and the sulfur component. Then the micro macronutrients also are being tested. For example, zinc, ferrous, copper, magnesium and the boron, and also the other factors. For example, the pH correctivity, the electrical conductivity and the organic compound, carbon. Now, this is where the parameters have been present, and this is a prestigious and successful project where we are trying to increase more than, there are around 25 crore soil health cards are being released under the scheme, and we have establishment of 8,000 plus soil testing labs have been done. Now, this has increased our approach and our conversions, inclusion of the different soils and different farmers in the region. Then we will see what is the major concerns. Now, this report is having and highlighting about certain concerns are related to the soils of India. The first one, here we have large amount of nutrient depletion is going on, and there is also yet chemical overburden. For example, we are through the soil health card scheme, large amount of fertilizers revamping is being done. Though the certain fertilizers are being used, still there is a nitrogen deficiency is being observed. Second, the fertilizer policy mismatch. Now, the regionalized fertilizers, and though the soil health card has been given to the farmers, the farmer exactly utilizing what fertilizers are being to be there, what amendment have to be done for the soils to increase the productivity. Now, this deficiency is being observed, and there is also neglect of biological and organic matter. Now, how is the biological content? We are only using the fertilizers and all, etc. But naturally, the biological content in the soil is not being replenished. And we have a weak linkages between soil testing and farmers' action. Just now, as I told, though the soil health card is being giving a total information about the nutrient deficiency and what you should add to the soil, but still there is a gap present between the farmers and utilizing of them into the soil. Utilizing of proper fertilizers and changing the behavior of the farmer is still a challenge in India. And there is a large amount of need for the paradigm shift from the soil chemistry to the soil ecology. Now, this is a one major one that still we are been working on. There is a deficiency that is being present. Now, you can see what are the different suggestions that are being given by the Center of Science and Environment. Now, it has stated that we have to broaden the soil health monitoring. It means that not just the chemical, we have to also include the physical and the biological components in testing the soils and health card, and reform the fertilizer policy, not just overburdening with the nitrogen, the subsidies in the nitrogen, or else giving large amount of fixed composition of the fertilizers. We have to revamp the fertilizer policy. Then improve organic matter and soil biology. Now, they have given an important suggestion that the soils in India can use a biochar. Now, it is a byproduct of the biomass, that biogas through pyrolysis method, where this can enhance the biological component in the soil. Then linking the soil health with the climate goal. As I told, there is 6 to 7 million tons of carbon sequestration can be done if we can mitigate the soil crisis in India. Now, soil health is not just about agriculture, but also it is linking with the climate change. Then strengthening the farmer awareness, more awareness how to utilize this, and we have to use the different technologies in it. For example, the GIS can be utilized, the remote sensing can be utilized in observing the changes in the soil health, changes in the nutrient value of the soil. And we also have to go for the district level, soil planning should be present, not just in the national level, not just in the state level, district level, region specific, holistic planning should be done. Then it also calls the major one, you can use this in your conclusions also, where a holistic soil management is an revolution from chemical correction to biological restoration. Now, we will see one of the practice question. See, already in 2017, when soil health card prelims question has been asked, and UPSC has a tendency where the prelims questions again are being turned into a mains questions in the coming years. Now, here on this, we can write one mains question. Recently, CSE assessment on the state of India's soil highlights alarming trend in the soil degradation and fertility loss. Discuss the key findings of the report and suggest the measures to improve the soil health management in India. Now, we also have to make sure that the soils are healthy and we can achieve the food security. Hope you will be answering the mains question and we will be ready for the prelims 2026. Thank you everyone. We will be meeting with another interesting video.